Yeah, they say here. Donna, not Diane. Oops, sorry. Yeah. So anyway, you need to hear this because this is big. Okay, so this is coming from Maggie's lawyer to both of us. I spoke to Maggie. I'm not sure. Let me get that secure. I'm not sure what exactly happened. I called for Maggie and left a message at the care center. Apparently, they called Donna rather than giving Maggie the message. Donna then called me and said I was not to have contact with Maggie. I told her I was working with Maggie, not Rick, and that she was not the guardian, and that even the guardian was not to interfere with Maggie's right to representation regarding guardianship issues. Donna hung up on me, which is when I emailed you yesterday. I have since talked to Maggie, actually a couple of times today. Donna called Maggie and visited her, and it did not go well. Okay, now stop for a second and imagine what that means. Donna went down there and threatened Maggie, and and whatever else happened. It was bad. This is Donna. They call her the bulldog, okay? According to Maggie, Tammy is quitting the care center. Tammy probably got fired because she assaulted Maggie's sister by taking her walker out of her hands when she already had bad knees, and that's why she had the walker. And then she recently had a back surgery done, so she really needed the walker. Tammy took the walker out of her hands. It was on camera. We went over it on a phone call. I had a conference call with her boss and somebody in HR and whatever. So I'm guessing she got fired for that. So Maggie wants contact with Rick, but now does not want Rick as guardian because of all the issues. Yeah, it did not go well. That's what I'm talking about, okay? That's the threats that were made. That's why she doesn't want me as her guardian, because of all the issues. So that's enough. That's what's going on. That's the correspondence going on between the lawyers. Now let's go over here, and this isn't the timeline. So let's go over here. These are just some of the marks. And that's the Minnesota adult. What is it? Recording abuse. Oh, adult abuse recording center, or something like that. So I mean, I've sent a bunch. I was throwing them away at first because I get them back, and it would say that we will not be assigned. Yeah, we got it. It's been reviewed. Will not be assigned for adult protective services and investigation. And so the first ones I just tossed because I wasn't thinking in terms of saving them for evidence. Well, I got 4 or 5 right here, and that's just going back to 2019. This goes back to 2011, and I've been doing them every so often. There would be a reason for me to do it, and I'd send one in. I can't tell you how many I sent. There's a bunch. And anyway, and one time I called because I was getting so fed up. So I called and I asked them, what does it take to get an investigation? And they said that the amount of abuse that Maggie's receiving doesn't meet their minimum requirement or their minimum level of it. What did they say? The abuse didn't rise to the level of maltreatment. That's what they said. To the level. So they knew she was being abused by her daughter, but it wasn't bad enough. I guess that's what she said. So, this is all of the most current stuff. All this in this timeline, this bottom row here is the most recent stuff. Oh yeah, and the other paper's down there. But this is where it started. This is the dog bite that never happened. So the police report where they said that no further quarantine is required. You will take no action at this time because nothing really happened. But Tammy made a big deal out of it. I got to cover this. So Maggie got a dog, Jack Russell Terrier, and he kind of looked like that. And within a week, when it was did I got that written down here someplace? Within a week, after getting a dog, she it was tied up in the backyard, and the neighbor lady came over with her toddler son. and came up from behind the dog, and the landlord was using the skill saw. So they came up from behind him, and he didn't hear him coming, and the toddler reached over to pet Sammy, and according to the mom, Sammy spun his head around and made contact with the kid in the face and cut the skin. So according to Tammy, well, now he's a dangerous dog and he's got to be put down, and it's like, no, like you said, no further action is required. Okay. It's not a big deal. They're okay with it. Just, he's been deemed it's possible he might be dangerous. And everybody said, the vet and the cop, everybody said he's not dangerous. Tammy's the one that pushed the deal of calling the cops, and it's not a big deal. Where was I? So yeah, as far as the story, let's see. So the dog, it was innocent, but Tammy needed the dog to die, and Maggie wasn't going to do that, so she refused. And Tammy told her, if you don't kill your dog, you'll never be able to see your grandkids ever again. And Maggie refused, and so Tammy blocked the phone so she couldn't call him on the phone, and she told the kids not even to make eye contact with Maggie. And Maggie was living in the house next door. I mean, not in the house next door, in the same structure. It was a side-by-side double bungalow. And this was in Lake City with great big bay windows, because it's big Lake City, whatever. And so she said that the kids would get off the school bus in front of the house, and she'd be sitting there, and they'd get off the bus, and they'd see her standing in the window, and they'd look down at the ground. They couldn't even look her in the eye. That's how things were turning into. It was just bad. So bad. Let's see, we got, so after the dog bite, that was in that, August 2011, I rescued her because of that. I moved her in to live with me. And shortly after that, I got a life insurance policy on myself in December, kind of like a Christmas present for her. And this was, when we moved from here, we moved to another place. This is in Minneapolis. Then we moved to another place. And I got this so that she knows, just so that for the security, so Maggie could feel more safe and relaxed and secure. And this is what I was doing. And I got a $50,000 life insurance policy. And then later on, this is just more of who I was. These are the receipts. When I was going out every other weekend to get Maggie, we'd go out to dinner and a movie, which was Applebee's and the matinee at Cinema 8, Red Wing Cinema 8. And then we'd go home and walk the dog and hang out. And then that night, we live in Lake City. This is in Red Wing, and this is in Hastings. And then I'd drive her out to Hastings. It was 50 miles one way to go to Hastings so that I could sing karaoke to her. This is her accusations of this drug and alcohol, codependency. I was seeing her every other weekend. She never had alcohol in her apartment unless it was mine, and the only reason it would be mine is if I was coming out, if I was going to stay and watch the Vikings the next Sunday. That's the only time I would bring beer out. Otherwise, it was never. Maggie preferred tea, and she only smoked pot when she was having an anxiety attack or for depression. That's when she started, shortly after Tammy attacked her and physically attacked her and pushed her into the stove, is the way that they refer to it. The time she pushed her into the stove, that's when she had to start taking meds for anxiety and depression. Let's see, health. Okay, so I got, and then the NORAN. Oops, this is the NORAN report, and then here is where it gets more. I'm just gonna breeze over it, but it gets more in depth. But it says Ms. Banks presents for the current evaluation, indicating she does not feel like she has more problems with her memory than ever before, but that one daughter has been expressing concerns about worsening memory over the last couple of years. That's Tammy. That's what she does. Tammy wasn't even in her life over the last couple of years. I was, and I know that for a fact, that Tammy had no involvement in Maggie's life at all. This was what she was trying to do, is take over her life. She wanted to take her money. So she wanted to be her guardian to control every bit of her. And like I said, it's her money, because Maggie was hauling in long-term disability, which was about $1,500, and then Social Security was another $1,200. So she was making about $2,500 a month. So Tammy wanted that money. That's just one thing. Oh, and the dates. Okay, 11/30/2011. That's right after this happened. They were not even in contact with each other. They had no contact at all. In fact, Maggie was seeing the grandkids behind her back when they were at her ex-husband's house, Chris Hofschulte. So Maggie was going and seeing the kids there, and Tammy hasn't found out about that yet, but she did right before Christmas. Oops, but here, this was 11:30. This is right after that, so this is right before Christmas. Let's go through here. And here, she reports feeling very compatible with her significant other and describes it as a safe relationship. Now, why do you suppose they use the word safe? Because Maggie is not safe where she is. She doesn't feel safe with her family. You can read all this. She also acknowledges experiencing some family stresses, her daughter's feelings about Ms. Banks' current significant other. Yes, because I saw Tammy for who she was, and she knows that I am wrecking her plan of using Maggie as a live-in babysitter and dishwasher and maid and stealing all her money. So she knew that I was interfering. So that's why she was having problems with me. Being close with one sister and one of her daughters. And that one sister is Diane, not Donna. And the one daughter was Tina, not Tammy. That's it. She doesn't even mention her son in this whole damn report. Doesn't even mention her son. That's what kind of a loser he is. She appeared much calmer. Check the date. 1/3/2012. This is right after she woke up Christmas morning, 2011, Christmas morning. Maggie woke up with a message on her phone from Tammy that said, "You're dead to me, and you'll never see your grandkids ever again," because she found out about Maggie going behind her back and seeing the kids when they're out at their dad's. So that's what Maggie woke up to Christmas morning, also her birthday. She gets a message from her daughter, and she goes, "Oh, I wonder what that must be. Happy birthday, whatever, Merry Christmas." And we were in Zanesville, Ohio at the time, because I surprised Maggie by driving her out to Zanesville, Ohio, so that she could see her daughter that she hasn't seen in a few years, their daughter Tina. And she was with her boyfriend. So that's what we were doing, and they both heard that message, and so did other people, and so did Maggie's, one of Maggie's healthcare workers, Leanne Ravy. She heard it. She heard the message in full. It's about 1 to 2 minutes of just so disgusting, her cussing out Maggie, how messed up she is. And I used to say that you could almost feel the spittle hit the side of your face as she was cussing her out on the phone. There's a lot of relationship conflict in her life. And this is right after that, and she couldn't see the kids, and her world was falling apart because she just got done being told by her daughter that she'll never see her grandkids ever again. And this was just so devastating to Maggie. It's just, her daughter's just the worst. She's been